Hey, I have 1,000 plus followers on LinkedIn. It's a very small thing, but I think it's really cool. I like LinkedIn. I've had a lovely love-hate relationship with it early on. However, I eventually came to um, a really great understanding. Randomly one day, I understood that this platform is something special. If you don't take it too seriously, I think that's the main thing with LinkedIn. I think people, I suspect people take it too seriously, and I think this is a determining factor of how your life is going to turn out. If someone is doing this in life, you're not doing enough and all that. Um, but I think the way I've taken LinkedIn is one, it's just a source of entertainment. I love knowing what people are up to because it gives me inspiration. It's like Pinterest. LinkedIn is probably, I think that's what a good way to put it. LinkedIn is my professional Pinterest, so I love to see what people are doing, stuff I can gain ideas from. Maybe someone's doing this cool program, I go, dang, I could implement that in my school. Or maybe someone got this cool job, I'm like, oh, that's a job. I really want to try that one day. I think that's the great how you should approach LinkedIn. It's not the only way, but that's certainly how I approach it. I think it's been really fun. But in terms of how I got 1,000 plus followers, um, I think I think there's many factors. I think some big factors were like the conferences I went to had a lot of people who were early on in their career, or early on in their career, or more would be more so advanced in their career. I wanted to like take on more people, like to mentor. And with those type of conferences, there was a lot of people who are willing to connect. So with the NESB conference, National Society of Black Engineers in March, I was able to do a lot of connecting there. But also at this recent research symposium, I was able to push my numbers up a bit. And then in between those two conferences, I've been doing a lot of my Mark Zuckerberg strategy, where I look at the best researchers or the people publishing research papers for certain companies like OpenAI, Meta, Nvidia. I look at those people and DeepMind as well, especially DeepMind. I take their stuff, I take their names, and I add them on LinkedIn. And that like I do that until I max out my LinkedIn connects for the week, and that's been a great way to just increase my connections and follower count subsequently. But yeah, that was my approach. But in terms of the conferences, I think what helped a lot is that in my head, my philosophy is that everyone's kind of equal. Like it doesn't matter if you're the CEO or you're an intern, you're essentially a person at the end of the day, right? I think it's easy to get lost in that status or this subconscious idea of professionalism, like, oh, you can't press the CEO and like talk to him and see what he's about or whatever, like or stuff along those lines. But I think in my head, it's just like this is a really cool dude who runs the company. He leads the strategy. He connects to the board of advisors, to the staff and the employees, and he has his own job. And he's at the end of the day, when he goes home, he still breathes air. He still eats food. He still goes to use the bathroom. He still has awkward moments when he's talking to people. Where he moves his hands in awkward ways. It's not. I'm not referring to anyone specifically, but like that's the general idea. I think that's what helped me a lot, especially when I want to connect or like talk with people I'm really impressed by, so I don't get too nervous. Um, I think that's a lot. That strategy or approach is accounts for a lot of the connections I was able to make on my LinkedIn. Um, Also, just to put a side note here, real quick, LinkedIn I don't think is like necessary to get the jobs you want. I think I realized this when I was doing the whole Mark Zuckerberg strategy of taking researchers and adding them on LinkedIn. Because a lot of them, not like a good 20%, didn't have any LinkedIn. Or if they did have a LinkedIn, let's increase it to like 30, 40%. It was completely barren and it was just like empty. I realized, okay, these like top researchers post like really cool papers I'm interested in, and they don't have any LinkedIn. Um, and that's not so that, to me that confirms that LinkedIn isn't a necessary tool to get to where you want to be, but it's a tool I like and it's a tool I'm good at, so I'm going to use that to the best of my ability, because my goal in life is not to copy one strategy or another. It's to create my own strategy by taking influence from stuff I think would work best for me and I like to use. So I think LinkedIn is a cool resource. I also just love talking. I think throughout the clips you've seen that a lot. I've been talking for 700 plus days now. um, but yeah, LinkedIn, I have 1,000 plus followers. It's really awesome. I really think what I really want to do now, and I touched on this before, is that instead of just expanding my followers, I want to still do that. I also want to be cultivating those connections. So it's not just a matter of, okay, you connect on LinkedIn and that's the end of the relationship. I want to be following up with people, sending people resources, adding value to people's lives. I also just keep up with it in like a friendly, social manner. There's this person I connected with that's working in Congress, and the AI action plan came out recently, so I want to talk to them about that and see if there's anything, how I can get involved, or what insights they may have for me. That's also something I want to do in general, is just have a group of people in different industries who can give me the insights that a typical article couldn't give me, or someone who's not advanced in that field. like myself could not gather just from looking at stuff online. So maybe have one person like in finance, or in global relations or domestic politics, one person in research and building scientific tools, one person in the healthcare industry, one person in the biotech industry, and all that. Just having people in those industries who can give me insights, so I can start noticing gaps in that. Like, okay, if there's a gap here, how does that influence the gap in this other industry? And if there's a gap in that industry, how does that influence my industry? And how can I address that? How can I notice the patterns of what's going to happen in the next year or 5 years or 10 years? And how can I best position myself and people, my group, to best extract value and impact people positively with those trends? But yeah, that's my general idea. That's my general philosophy. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.